So, hi friends, now we will discuss the last chapter of economic survey. It's not last in the survey chapter itself, but in our series this is the last chapter. Sectoral performance, tracking development through satellite images and cartography. See, till now what we have discussed, it involves some numbers, it denotes some condition in the economy, whether it is fiscal position or external trade or sustainable development, or it is about the social infrastructure. But in this we will simply understand what is the performance of different sectors in the economy. You know, three sectors are there in the economy: primary, secondary, tertiary. And in this now you will understand how our economy has performed in these three sectors. That means their growth level, their contribution to the GDP, their increase, and the different constituent parts of that particular whole sector. These are the things that you are going to study. And while you are studying this particular sector, if at all any schemes that were mentioned in the survey, you need to study those schemes. Second one is, already you are having a data of these things in your class notes or with you. You need to update all your existing data with the new survey data. So there is no much concept involved in these chapters. These chapters only denotes that how our economy performed and various sectors and improvement in the various sectors, and you all know the reasons, what are the different policies, methods, schemes, everything we have adopted, you have studied as a part of various chapters. So in this simply we are going to discuss how our different sector has started performing well. How our different sectors of economy started performing well. Now simply I will getting into the details of the each and every sector, and when it comes to the tracking development through satellite and images and cartography, I will come to that aspect later. First we will looking into the sectoral performance. Yeah. See, if you looking into the agriculture and allied sectors, so what is the growth of agriculture and allied sector? So it's irrespective of pandemic. This is not something about whether we have the pandemic or whether we don't have the pandemic. It is just how this sector is increasing, that only they will give. They don't give any specific analytical reasons to all these things, because in the overall growth itself we understand the reasons, policies and everything are the stimulating action or the financial, the fiscal policy and all we have studied. It is only the performance of the sector. Okay, agriculture economy earlier used to grow at 6.8, 6.6. Now it is growing in 2021 3.6 and 21-22 it is 3.9. It is less than 4. 4 is a desirable number. Growth of GVI of agriculture and allied sectors. When agriculture sector is growing, that means the constituent parts of the agriculture sector has to grow. And what are the constituent parts? It is crops, livestock, forestry and logging and fishing. And each and sector is contributing how much for this entire growth of agriculture of your 3.6 and 3.9, that you will study here. And 2016, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20 they have given. If you looking into this particular year, the most of the growth in agriculture has become possible because of livestock, and we are not able to perform well in fishing. It is up to 2019-20, and you can see how the crops. Okay, this is how you need to understand. Next, percentage share of GVA of agriculture and allied sectors in total GVA. See, in the total GVA, what is the share of this agriculture and allied sector? It's not as a percentage of GDP, it's a percentage of GVA. You can understand why it is very high. It is a pandemic year, and I have already explained. You can see the normal GVA. It's not agriculture alone, it's agriculture and allied. And what is the meaning of agriculture and allied? If it includes livestock, if it includes forestry and logging, if it includes fishing. Got it? Yeah. Next, percentage of GVA of crops and allied sectors in total agriculture GVA. And if you take the total 18% of your GVA, because we are saying like it's 18% and 20% of your GVA, in that what is the share of everything? Most the crops constitute the dominating part, and 2019-20, 18-19 if you take, it's a 10%, 9.7, 10%, whereas livestock is 5%, forestry 1.5, 1.2, fishing 1.2, 1.2. That is the reason why even though there is a huge increase in fishing or huge decrease in fishing, it may not have much impact on the overall GVA of agriculture and allied sector, because its share itself is very less. Its share itself is very less. Okay. Next, trends in agricultural production in million tons, total pulses. See, rice, wheat, nutri cereals, that you can see 120, 100, 220, 220 plus 40, 260. And apart from that, you need to know about the pulses. If you see the pulses, 20 plus 30 plus 30, almost 30, 30 plus 60, 60 plus 20, 80. But this is cotton, you cannot add cotton here. Cotton is something different. So you can add 50. This is the average level of production that is happening in India as both the cereals and pulses. Okay, you can see the increase in cotton. And even because of this increase in cotton, if you observe recent budget, the Cotton Corporation of India has allocated more amount of budget in order to procure this cotton. Okay, that is one aspect again you have to remember. Next, trends in production of oil seeds. Oil seeds production is increasing every year. See, from 2015-16, 31, 31.3, 0.5, 33.2, 36.1. But if you see production and import of oil in million tons, this is the production. It's not about oil seeds. Whatever the oil seeds we are producing, with that this much amount of oil we are making. See, 7%, 7.4 million tons we are producing. We are importing almost 13, sometimes 14, 15. You can understand 13 plus 8, 21. In that 21, 8 we are doing and 13 we are importing, means more than 50% we are importing in our total requirements. This is how you have to come to a conclusion as far as the oil seeds production is concerned. But it is up to only 1920. But here they have given up to 2021. 2021. Okay. Anyway, in 2021 it got increased. Yeah. Production and consumption of levels of sugar. See, what is the level of production of sugar cane? 32.6. Our consumption is only 26, 27, 24. Because this all no. Suppose if the consumption has come down, then you need to do more exports. You need to do more exports. And exports again, it's depending on the prices in the foreign countries. That again will impact the whatever the fair price of the farmers. But anyhow, just have an idea about the production of sugar. Cost MSP returns on Kharif crops in the year. They have given also for the Rabi crop. But just see paddy. What is the cost involved in this production? What is the MSP and what is the gain that you are making? That means actually what they wanted to show is, they want to show that they are adding 50% to the cost of production. That is what the Swaminathan committee recommendations, and according to them they have reached. But the point is, the cost whatever you are calculating is not C2, it is A2 plus FL. That is what the contention. But anyhow, now whatever we have achieved is fine. Whatever we have achieved is fine. But the point is, this government has promised double the income of farmers, and that cannot be possible only if you allow or if you bring the market reforms. But we don't know how they will do. But anyhow, just have an idea. Survey has given almost 50% return over the cost happened in everything, And if you take it is urad, it is even up to 65%. If it is arhar or tur, it is 62, and if it is bajra, it is up to 85% gain. Okay. Next, but are they going to really procure all the grains that are produced in this country? No. They are announcing, but are they really procuring? So when you don't procure from everyone, does really this benefit whatever you are giving, is it really going to every farmer? No, few farmers. Next, the per capita availability of the milk grams per day, meat kg per year, and eggs number per annum. That you can see, I think on every front we are increased. On every front we are increased, both in terms of this milk, both in terms of eggs, and both in terms of meat. Okay. Yeah. Trend of milk production in India. Trend of milk production in India. You can see what is the in million tons. We have reached to 209.96 million tons. Share of FPI in manufacturing. Okay. Now, share of FPI in manufacturing GVA. So FPI means this fruit processing industries. So in the total GVA, in the total manufacturing GVA, because it cannot be considered as an agriculture, because they are doing some industrial activity. In the total manufacturing GVA, what is the percentage of food processing industries? It is increasing over a period of time, but the pace in which we are increasing is not sufficient. It's not sufficient. Okay, just have that idea. But anyhow, it is increasing, and this government has taken various steps in order to promote this sector. But the increase is not what we are expecting. Next, FDI inflows into the food processing industries reduced last year during the COVID-19. It got reduced. Okay, but maybe in other sector it got increased. Fertilizer subsidy, what we have given, increased, again decreased. Urea DAP complex, the production what we are doing. Just if you want to know the total number, then take how much the production of fertilizers what we are doing, just get this number total, so that you can get the full number, and this is a subsidy in crores. Okay. And import of fertilizers, and if you just have an idea about the total production plus imports, that means if you do the calculation for this production and import, then you can understand how much amount of fertilizers that we are using in this country, how much fertilizer we are doing in this country. Okay, this is an import of urea, DAP, MOP. And if I show, just a minute, see the case of urea, 246 lakh metric tons in the year 2021. I am taking in the year 2021. Our production of urea is 246, our import is 98. In urea front we are okay, but if you take the case of DAP and complex, DAP complex, it is 3793. That means in complex fertilizers it is 93 we are producing, but whereas when it comes to the import it is 42, 48. To some extent we are increasing, but still this much amount of import it is happening. Next, this is something about different aspects or the sectoral performance of the agriculture and its allied sectors. You have seen the different their share in GVA and their growth rate in overall growth rate of the sector, and the increase of the milk, increase of the eggs, increase of the meat, and all you have seen, and even the performance of the food processing industry sector also you have seen. Now that is the agriculture sector. So just I have given an idea to you how to looking into that. You just go in detail that survey and try to get all the necessary the statistical information whichever you want. Okay. So and try to update your number. So you must always update your number with the survey. Now I will move to the secondary sector, that is industrial sector. If you are looking into the industrial sector, here I am considering construction sector also. So now in the share of industry, but before you looking into the share of industry, just try to looking into what are the components that you are considering, because sometimes services you can take it into the services also for a different calculation. So mining and quarrying, manufacturing, electricity, gas, water supply and other things, and construction. Okay, so this 4 indicates the industry. Now if you looking into that, the overall share, it is started with around 33, now we are also almost at 32, 33. Okay, 2011, 12 to 16, 17, 17, 18, and first advanced estimate this. And in this, which one is contributing more? The manufacturing is contributing more, electricity, gas contributing less, and even your mining and quarrying less. So the 2 topmost is manufacturing and construction. Okay, manufacturing and construction almost constitute for 10%, almost 10%, not exactly 10 but almost 10%, almost 10. And if you see the manufacturing is again more than 15%, it is contributing. That is how, and the exact number will be given in the survey. Yeah, growth in gross value added, it's not percentage, but to the overall growth, which sector is contributing more? See, 2012 to 2019-20 they have given in mining, quarrying, manufacturing. In 19-20 they haven't performed well, but you can understand the performance in COVID-19. But again the jump what you have made, again see the construction 6.310 minus 8.6, but again bounce back to 10.7. The overall industry is again 3.3 increase, again reduction, again jump in increase 11.8. Okay, 11.8 jump in increase. This is so. Next, index of 8 core industries and IIP. You know 8 core industries and you know index of industrial production. So how they are performing over a period of time? Just you can see from 19 to 21 in within different months how they have performed, they have given. Next, index of 8 core industries and IIP. Index of industries and IIP, because normally you will get lot of time, to get the overall data. That's why we consider these sectors as an indicator to the performance of economy. If you see April to November 19, April to November 20, April to November 21, that means pre-pandemic, pandemic, post-pandemic. In pre-pandemic, pandemic, post-pandemic, see which sectors has performed well. See, in the pre-pandemic, coal not performed well. In the pandemic not performed well, in the post pandemic it is performing well. It is performing well in the sense even it is also having the base effect, that also you have to consider. Take the case of crude oil, it is not even working, not even good at, even in pre-pandemic it is in negative. Take the case of natural gas, a good amount of increase. Take the case of steel, good. Take the case of cement, good. Take the case of even petroleum refinery things. Take the case of electricity, they are doing good. But here they are definitely have the base impact, but apart from that these 3 are performing highly well. Though they have a base effect, but the increase is very high. Just have an idea on these 8 core sectors. Next, total FDI inflows. FDIs are increasing, but if you see FDI is consistently increasing. Normally I used to explain you in the initial class itself, like you will be asked about this. Does really the FDIs are consistently increased? No. Here it is increased, but from 2018-19 it is a gradual increase. But 21-22 it is only half of the year, so you cannot say whether it will go or whether it will stay or whether it's come down. Okay, but from 18-19 it is increasing, but not from 14-15. It's not a continuous increase. Okay, just have an idea. They have maintained some stability and again increased. Next, FDI equity inflows in manufacturing and non-manufacturing sector. See, this is the manufacturing green and this one is non-manufacturing. Anyway, these are the half of the year estimates. We will just keep it at a side. But if you see this, though we are attracting FDIs, most of the FDIs we are not attracting to the manufacturing sector, but non-manufacturing sector we are attracting. That means to the services sector we are attracting. That is the problem. In 2021, almost $60 billion. Okay, and if you see, this is what exactly. Almost this one 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19. This is a flat. Okay, that's what we have achieved. It's not a complete. Here it is to some extent reduction happened. Okay, just try to analyze in this way. Manufacturing not more, only in non-manufacturing. So you can not even half, less than half. If it is total 60, it is only 15. If it is total 50, it is only 20. If it is total 40, it is only 15. Okay, that is how you need to. Yeah, production and consumption of steel. Likewise, they have given data about steel, coal and other metals. Just for your understanding, I have given the production, how much we are producing, how much we are consuming, total finished consumption, total finished steel production. So whatever we are producing, we are consuming less. We are consuming less every year. Okay, so that means we are in a position to export the steel. But sir, are we not importing the steel? Yes, we do import the steel, but that's of different quality. Again, India's coal production, all India coal production, domestic supply, import, actual demand. This is actually I used to say always. So though we are having a huge amount of production and our domestic supply is this, we are maintaining some surplus, the actual demand is this, but still we are importing. And if you see 1920, 2021, our production is more, our demand is less. Here it is more. This is only one abnormal year and this is also to some extent, but anyhow. But even though we are importing the coal, so the importing of the coal is happening in this country, This was asked in 1 year prelims. Next, trade of pharmaceutical industry, imports and exports. We are doing well. On this value in US billion dollars, imports and exports. And you are all aware the India's strength in pharmaceutical sector. Okay. Next, road construction, because this is not unlike the Pradhana Mantri Gramina Sadak Yojana roads. These are the national highways and construction of national highways in kilometers, road construction in kilometer per day. See, the construction of highways, it is increasing. Now we are having in the year 2020-21 we are able to do around 13,000 kilometers. You know the target. For this year, they wanted to do it for 25,000 kilometers. 25,000 kilometers of national highways they wanted. But if you take per day, at one point of time we used to lay only 15 kilometers per day. But now it has increased almost. We are reaching 40, but it's not certainly 40, 38 kilometers or 37 kilometers per day. One day we can do. That is the capacities of our system. Okay, so that is how we are increasing. Next, electrified route kilometer as a percentage of total route kilometer. This is about railways. They have given information about railways also. This electrified route kilometers 2000 to 2001, 10, 11, 20, 21. You can understand electrified route in kilometers, it got increased. Total route in kilometer got increased little bit. Projects electrified route kilometers, project total route in kilometers. 23, 24, that is what our projected one. This is projected one. These are projected one. Projected one are always higher, but if you see this electrified, it got increased. Now we are more than 40,000 kilometers are electrified. Next, number of stations equipped with Wi-Fi. It's about railways. Number of stations equipped with railways. You can see a jump. Okay. Now almost 60%, more than 60% of the stations are equipped with the Wi-Fi. Performance of major ports. Performance of major ports. So traffic capacity, the traffic capacity. So traffic in million tons, capacity in million tons per annum, that you can see. Average turnaround time in hours. So the average turnaround time in hours got decreased. That means the time required for loading and unloading, that we are able to reduce it, and our capacities and traffic is increasing. And it is, and traffic is not consistent, but anyway you have to remove this pandemic effect. But barring pandemic effect, there is a consistent increase, that you can say, consistent increase. Growth of Indian shipping. Yes, even, yeah, but 2018, 19 and 19, 20, it's almost same. Number of vessels increased. The whatever the gross tonnage, that means how much amount of tonnage that we are making through the shipping, it is there, and you can get the number of vessels. It's more than 1400 and the total is 12,000. Again you need to add 3 more thousand GT. Number and composition of telephone subscribers, both in urban and rural. Almost in urban there is no much growth rate, because almost the urban area got full facility by this time. When it comes to the rural area, subscribers in millions, yes, it's almost constant. Take the case of internet subscription, both broadband and narrowband, it is increasing over a period of time, especially the broadband. Total average wireless data usage, but they have given in a quarter wise. But if you take, it's increasing. If you take, it is increasing. The data per person per month is now we are at 15 GB. Number of mobile towers increasing, that shows the tele density. Sources of installed capacity and electricity generation, again very important. What is the installed capacity? What is the electric generation? That means how much amount we can generate, that is installed. How much we are doing, that is electricity generation. In our total capacity, 67% is thermal, renewable is 22%, hydro is 10%, nuclear is 1%. But whereas when it comes to the generation, we are unable to utilize our renewable energy sources fully. That is the reason why we are generating more it from the thermal, but we have a more potential that you can do. Install is there. See, solar installation is there, but you can't get every day. Wind installation is there, but you can't get it every day. The installation capacity is that, but whatever we are getting is more from the thermal. This is in the year 2020-21. Yeah, this is about the manufacturing, and in that manufacturing you have seen the GVA, the growth in GVA, and the different like steel, coal, and also the survey has given important information about the civil aviation, the increase in traffic, and also electricity generation, the vessels, the cargo, whatever we are dealing, and the telecommunication network, pharmaceutical sector, they have given. Now we will come to the services sector. In the services sector, again you know the different components of services sector. The total contribution in GVA is 53. In that the financial, real estate, professional service is 20, trade, hotel is 16, public administration, defense and other is 15.2. If you looking into the growth, the total growth rate in 2021 has become -8.4 and it has become 18, and you know there was a huge decline here, and you know the reason, this was already discussed. Again they have bounced back in advance estimates of 21-22, the overall increase. And if you want to know 21-22 quarter wise, every quarter increased, every quarter this again reduction 21-22, but again it is this is total half year. If you take the half year also, it is very high, okay, but still okay. Next, gross FDI equity inflows into the services sector. Why actually I have taken this is, normally the FDIs are increasing, the most of the FDIs you will get it in the services sector only. Share in gross FDI equity inflows into the services sector in 21-22 as a percentage. You can see most of the FDIs coming into which sector. So we are not against FDIs, but are our FDIs are creating really jobs? You need to attract more FDIs into this manufacturing sector. Then it is more useful for the country. I am not saying like attracting into this is not at all useful, but it cannot generate more revenue. And financial 18%. Okay, it's as a matter of percentage they have given total. And if you want absolute number, you can see. If you want absolute number, you can see. This is all about that. Next, services trade performance by subsector. So in the services, each and every sector, how they are performing. So their share 2010 to 11, 2020 to 21. The value and the growth from 2019-20, 20-21. Total services exports. Total services exports, if you consider it as 100, the traveling contribution has come down less share. Then which share has increased? Software is contributing more and it is increased. Business services contributing again more and it is increasing. This is the major. Transportation reduced. Okay, just have an idea. In our exports, because we are doing lot of services exports, and if you want an absolute number, I'll take this 2020-21 or 2019-20. Our total services exports in $1 billion 213 and 26. In that you can see our software exports are almost 100 and our business services are almost 50. That means 150 is coming here itself. 150 is here itself. 150 is here itself. And remaining thing transportation and all the other things. The growth rate, okay, because of the pandemic years, it is very difficult to predict now because all the things has come down. But just I want to show, even though we are having the pandemic, there is no much effect. There is an effect. I can say that there is an effect, but there is no much effect. So like how it was affected the different aspects, it is not like 11.5 to 8.6. And business services, there is a reduction, but when it comes to software, it is a reduction, but not much reduction. 1920 to 2021 in exports. Total services imports. Okay, what are the different services we import? I am not talking about the merchandise import, only service imports. We do travel imports, transport, insurance, software services, business services, everything. Government not included elsewhere, financial services, everything. But the point is, which one we will import more? Again, business services. Not software services. Business services we will import more. Just have an idea. Around 88 billion, 84, that's the level of imports. Yeah. Now, in the services, the startup is one of the important sector we need to understand. The startup is one of the important aspect. Actually, I want to give some information on these startups. See, if you looking into the 2020-21, if you are looking into the 2020-21 and take the case of 21-22. In the year 2021-22, the number of new recognized startups has increased over 14,000. Increased over 14,000. In the year 2021-22, it was increased to over 14,000. Whereas in the year 2016 and 17, whereas in the year 2016-17 there are only 733. Now you know we are third largest startups in the world. One is US, second one is China, third is India, and it got a huge momentum in the last few years, especially 4 to 5 years. Okay, so this is the recognized startups. Now in this total 83 unicorns were there. So lot of time Prime Minister of India is also saying this unicorn. Unicorn in the sense whose value has crossed the $1 billion. That means 100 crore dollar, whose startup value has crossed 100 crore dollar, we call it as unicorn. And in this unicorn, in this year, that means in the year 2021, around 44 unicorn has crossed this, in the 44 startups have crossed this unicorn status. In total there are 83. Just have some idea about this, but unfortunately most of the startups are in services sector. Why I am always saying unfortunate in the sense, the services sector don't have enough capacity to create the employment. Already we are strong in that sector. Okay, so it should have been the other manufacturing sector. That is the only thing. But whatever increase in services also helps the country, it also generates the employment, but had it happened in manufacturing, it could have been much better. That's the only point. Now if you see the number of startups in space sector, you are all aware space sector is also privatized. Privatized in the sense private people are allowing into that, not that entire sector has sold to somebody else. Now lot of private participation is also allowing in this. Number of startups 2012 1, but if you see 2017 8, 18 7, again if you see last 2 years 11 21, total 101. If you see in the last 3 years from 19 20 21, it is a huge increase. Okay, as a percentage if you want to do, it's a big percentage, almost 100% increase, almost 11 to 21 100% increase, 21 to 47 more than 100% increase. Okay, so that is the startups in space sector. And you know all the again when it comes to the private participation in the space sector, I have already made a video, it's available in our channel, just watch it. Okay, and survey also given some sort of information with respect to this. Next, average pendency times of financial decisions. See, this is with respect to intellectual property rights, and economic survey has given a clear information like how many patents we used to apply, how many patents used to grant for us. That number is gradually increasing, and most of the time most of the patents we are doing again it in services sector. But if you are looking into the time taken for the approval of the whatever the patents and all, but still when it compared to the other countries, our comparable countries, it is still high. It is in terms of months. First office action, final decision, they are taking still lot of time comparable to other countries. So that patent information also they have given. So this is something about the performance of services sector, and the economic survey has given lot of information about BPO sector. Perhaps the BPO sector information is not necessary. Just have a overall idea and try to update your figures, that itself is final. So we have seen both the agriculture, that means primary, secondary and tertiary, and some of the performance. For your understanding, just I have given, just go through it and just note down the numbers and update the information. Okay, so because this trajectory and all you may get in prelims, so whenever you are noting a number, just try to understand the trajectory also. Okay, that you do. This is about the sectoral performance. So this is about sectoral performance. Now the another topic that I have added to the sectoral performance is the development tracking through satellite images and cartography. See, okay, now we understood the development through numbers, how much we are producing, how much we are exporting, how much we are earning. So based on this we are saying, but now this survey wanted to show us that we are developing, we are growing, and I wanted to show you in a different way. So that different way is through this geospatial information, through the cartographic information, through the satellite information, through the images that are taken through the drones and the information that you collect it from the mobiles. So they have used this devices as a tool to show us that we are also tracking the development through these methods, because our policy action are in the barbell approach or in agile approach. I said our policy response should always be depending on the feedback, and the feedback can be anything. Feedback can be a number, feedback can be an image, feedback can be anything. So one of the feedback is that we wanted to show that we are developing, we are growing, and our entire whatever the sectors and the expansion of urban areas, everything is growing. So they wanted to show with that pictographic or that images which they have collected from all these sources. Suppose I'll show some of the images. See, this is about the luminosity, the nighttime luminosity. That means nighttime you have taken a photo, this will show that how India is looking like. And actually this is a new figure in the year 2021, but survey compared it with the 2016. If you look it from 2016 to 2020, you can understand that how much we are electrified. Electrified, we have the data to substantiate, but apart from the data, this is another source we have, and this shows that how much electric supply we have. This shows that the geographical distribution of the people, because when you zoom it and when you getting into the so closure, you can find out everything, and you can see where is the geographical expansion of population. If it is a forest area, up to where area people are living, so where they are not living, this entire data that you can collect it. And one more thing what you can do is the urban expansion. Suppose if you zoom it, you can see to what extent urban area is expanded. Such data also we can collect it. That means we can substantiate the existing data with this data, or we can use this another alternative data. You can draw some of the new conclusions which you cannot draw it from the normal numbers. That also you can do. This is nighttime illumination or luminosity. See, the spread of commercial bank branches in India March 21. If you really compare it with the 2016, you can understand how much amount we have changed, but it is an increase. And where we don't have the branches, see, this is the area where we don't have much branches, and this is the area we don't have the much. Then you can say that this is a forest area, this is a complete, see, Madhya Pradesh sparsely there because some forest area. So which is having highly dense, if you see this region highly dense. So here also in West Bengal very highly dense. So that is how, and if you zoom it, you can draw many conclusions from that. Okay. And in which area bank branches are so close to each other, in which area the bank branches are so sparse, that you can get it. And even this information is about the net sown area. This was taken 2021, 156.8 million hectares. But if you take it 2016, you can understand. Again, this data you can use it for your own processes, like how much we need to procure and that entire processes, because sometimes data may be wrong. Because not that we wantedly do it, but we don't have much mechanism to collect the data appropriately. But anyhow, this satellite data, as far as the sown area is concerned, we can collect absolutely, because some technical tools are available and we can do that. And the net sown area, that we are collecting it from that, so that we can use it for our own policy purposes. Next, if you see the satellite image of golf course road in Gurugram 2021 compared with the 2005, you can see how much development that happened. This is cartographic information. Earlier one is satellite information. Prior to that, what the bank branches we have taken, that is a geospatial information. That means see, I'll show you. Geospatial means where it is present, this location. This is geospatial. This is direct a picture from the satellite. This is something cartography. Okay. So that we are making a two-dimensional figures, and we can exactly projecting where are they, where the building, where the green zone, where the water, where the road. This is cartographic. So you can understand the development process, and you can see the Bandra Kurla in Mumbai. See how much development happened from 2001 to 2021. We are not saying, we are just showing. It's an evidence. And even you can see, this is a very good picture, the satellite image of wasteland redeployment for industrial use in Nellore. So the wasteland redeployment for industrial use in Nellore. So how the industries came and how the area developed, if you looking it from 2009 to 2021, you can understand. The wastelands, we are redeploying it for industrial usage, So these are some of the evidences that we can show. So the survey has clearly shown, like they have dedicated a chapter and they have brought some images, like we are tracking the development through these existing tools apart from what are the data tools that we have. Okay. So this is something about, the tracking development through satellite images and cartography. This is another way. So wherever it is necessary, just quote it. But apart from that, this entire thing is about the sectoral performance, that means 3 sectors performance, and the tracking development through the satellite images and cartography. So this is about the chapter. Okay. Thank you.
Amrita IAS Academy.